Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to Let's Play some Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars is one of my very favorite real-life board games. We've played this so much, own all the sort of real-life expansions, all that kind of jazz. And the digital version's not bad. The AI could be maybe a little bit stronger. I'm going to say that. I'm going to come in dead last. You just watch. But you're only going to notice if you've played a crap ton of the real Terraforming Mars before. And even then, it's not going to be too shabby. Let's go ahead and jump in here. So the point of this game is, in fact, to terraform Mars. You and the other players represent corporations tasked with this monumental endeavor. You'll be doing it over a series of generations. The game ends when Mars is terraformed, and you win by earning the most points. Most of the points that you're going to earn are likely going to be as a result of the actual terraforming tasks that you're going to do over the course of the game. Well, that's interesting. All right. So first you're going to choose your corporation. Now really, you're either choosing to play by the beginner corporation rules or by a real corporation. So I'm going to ignore the beginner corporation over here, and we're going to choose one of these two. Now I've already done a video as Phobolog, so I guess we might end up with the United Nations Mars Initiative, which I'm going to be honest is not my favorite at all. Now, what you can do at this point is you don't actually have to decide between the two real corporations. You can hit next, look at the cards that you have an option to start with, and then if you go back, you can rechange your corporation. Now, if I see a ton of space cards, I'm going to be like, I need to go Phobolog. Okay, literally not a single space card. So in the top right corner of these cards, some of them have different symbols for different things, and the space symbol is this little star over here. And the big thing with the space cards is space cards can be developed by paying titanium instead of actual just money. And so Phobolog is really good if you have space cards because you start with a bunch of titanium and your titanium is worth more. But I might not take Phobolog here because I didn't have any space cards. And in any case, I'm not gonna because we've done a video for it before. So we're gonna play as the United Nations Mars Initiative. Only starts with 40 megabucks, which isn't very much. It looks like a lot because Phobolog doesn't start with much, but it has titanium. But 40 is fairly low. As the United Nations Mars Initiative, we're really incentivized to raise the terraforming at least once every single round, every single generation, I should say, because if I do, I can pay an extra $3 as a special action to get an extra terraforming rating. Terraforming rating is equal to points at the end of the game. Not only that, but it gives you income over the course of the game as well. So now we start with a hand of 10 cards, but we have to buy them. It costs 3 mega bucks, mega credits, mega euros, whatever, to actually buy one of these cards to keep. Since we don't start with a ton, the 40, we are going to have to be a little judicious with our initial purchase. Some of these cards have requirements. So for example, for algae, there needs to be 5 or more oceans placed. We're going to start with 0. I can't actually see the terraforming state because we haven't actually started the game yet. So, but there's a total of 9 oceans to place. So algae's not playable for a while, so we're not going to prioritize it. Violent Enhancers, all it does is it buffs or combos with you playing plant, microbe, and animal cards. So if we're going to grab some of those, it might be worth picking up the Virulent Enhancers, but if we're not, then it's not. Ice cap melting, you need at least 2 degrees Celsius to play this, and we start at something like -20 or something. This is average temperature, so it's a long way away to playing this card, and it's not guaranteed that there will still be oceans left when we get to that point, so we're not looking at that. Herbivores, we need at least 8% oxygen. That's far away. We do have a microbe card over here. So here, as an action, so every generation, you can use the action on a card once and only once. Even if it's got different options and whatever, you only use it once. You only use the card once. So here, as an action, we can add a microbe to the card or remove 3 microbe from the card, which increases our terraforming rating by 1 step. It also starts play with 3 microbes, which means we can play this card, boost our terraforming rating right away, which is actually something we would kind of like to do as the United Nations here, because then we can spend an extra $3 to get a second terraforming rating, which is a big deal. Now, this could combo with Virulent Enhancers, so we can consider maybe grabbing both those cards. I think if nothing else, the nitrite reducing bacteria is going to be a no-brainer for us. I think it's going to work out well. Worms are possible if oxygen gets up to 4%, which isn't that high. When you play this, your plant production goes up by 2 for every microbe card you have in play, including this one when you play it. And the thing is, the Virulent Enhancers and the nitrite reducing bacteria are both microbes. So if we play one of those plus worms, that will give us a plant income. If we play them both and another microbe card somewhere that we pick up and then play worms, we get 2 plant income. We do have to wait for the oxygen to go up. Not that that'll take too long. The chasm, if we need the temperature up, livestock is far away. Investment loan, Brings our income down by 1, but gives us 10 money. Keep in mind, though, we're going to play 3 to pick up this card, 3 to play it. So it's not worth it for us here. Some factions get discounts for Earth cards or events or something like that. You might have drawn this card from a random effect instead of having to buy it. So right now, it's not worth it. The Caretaker contract, you can only use it when the temperature is raised a fair bit, but it gives you another way to spend your heat. And it lets you boost your terraforming by 1. So normally you can spend 8 heat to increase the temperature on Mars by 1 step, which gives you a terraforming rating. And here it lets you still get your terraforming rating, maybe even if the temperature is maxed out or you don't want to improve it. Still, I don't think we need to pick that up now, plus playing it blah, would be quite far away. I think we grab this. You know what? I think I'll grab the 3 microbe cards and call that good. This is not really how I would typically start at all. And we're sort of hoping to pick up a 4th card with a microbe on it before we play worms. But we can't play worms right away anyway, so it's okay. So we're going to spend 9. That'll leave us with 31, which gives me enough. I can play Viral Enhancer plus Nitrite Reducing Bacteria. Technically, it gives me enough to play the worms as well. Maybe I don't wait. I mean, we'd only get 1 plant out of it, but the sooner we play this, you know, the sooner it'll start giving us plants. Oh, wait, I can't because of the auction anyway. Okay, so first turn, it'd be... those 2, I'd still have 11 left, which is what, enough to build power plant? No. To raise the temperature? Maybe. Oh, we're going to have to spend 3 to boost our terraforming rating, then probably just save the money. I think that'd probably be it. We play those 2, we boost the terraforming rating by 1. Or sorry, these 2. Because we boost the terraforming rating by using this, and then I use my ability 1 more time. Okay, I think that's a fine turn. Wow, that was kind of slow. All right, now we can see the full board. So we've got all the nations over here on the left. We're going to be playing in this order. Tharsis is going to go first. The Tharsis Republic is their special is they get to place a city right away, and they get benefits every time a city gets placed, which Tharsis is my absolute favorite. I think a lot of people consider Ecoline the most powerful, but for me, Tharsis. So anyway, here's our terraforming information over here. So once all 9 oceans have been placed, once the oxygen percentage is up to 14, and once the average temperature has reached 8 degrees Celsius, that will be the final generation. Depending on how aggressively myself and the AIs play, with 4 people, this could be anywhere from, probably in this game, somewhere from generation 9 to 12, most likely ending on generation 10 or 11. I would guess that. And that's important because you sort of have to plan out your moves ahead of time. So let's, I think we're going to open the way we were talking about it. We're going to put down viral enhancers first. And then we're going to play the nitrite reducing bacteria. Now, what's going to happen here is, oh, right, it's going to add itself, it's going to add 3 tokens to itself when you play it. There we go. Now, the viral enhancers plays. Now, I can do 2 things. I can either gain a plant or add a microbe to that card. I will simply add a microbe to the card. So it'll be that much quicker to get the next one. All right, so in a generation, it goes player by player. Each player gets a chance to do 2 actions. So I played 2 actions, and then my turn had to end, so it's good. All right, red player just nuked Mars. There you go. Dropped a nuclear test site or something right over here, ruining that tile forever. Good job. It did increase the temperature quite a bit. Actually, the temperature's shooting up super fast. Yeah, okay, it's the power plant. Someone got the free heat and everything. That's crazy. That's what happens with nukes, I guess. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use this card. I'm going to use it to turn 3 microbes into a terraforming rating. So, the numbers here is our current terraforming rating. So this will be the basis of our score at the end of the game. It's also the basis for our income every turn. So raising that up is really good. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and use my special ability to spend 3 to raise it up a second time. So I just got an extra victory point for the end of the game, as well as extra income. The game is balanced. If you look at the cards and things like that you'll get, a card is worth 5 megabucks per victory point. It's also worth 5 megabucks per income. If you're raising your terraforming rating, then it's effectively worth 10 megabucks for something that raises your terraforming rating by 1 because it's both income and victory points. So that's how the game is balanced. All the card costs and things like that are like that. I think the standard projects are slightly less efficient in comparison. Yeah, because an asteroid increases the temperature by 1, gives you a terraforming rating. So increasing the temperature gives you a terraforming rating. So again, which is worth 1 victory point and 1 point. So it should be balanced for a cost of 10. But because it's a standard project and you don't have to buy the card first, remember, grabbing a card costs 3 as well. So it's all kind of balanced like that. And then the standard project being slightly less efficient, but always available. So if I can raise my terraforming rating for 3 points instead of 10, That is actually hugely efficient. Anyway, that's it. I can only do that one action, so I'm going to have to pass here. Now, because I still... oh, no, sorry, my turn looked around. If you do one of your two actions on your turn, and then you pass, it'll come back around to you, and you'll have another chance to act. If you take 0 actions and you pass, that's it. That you're done for the generation. And now I'm player 1. So the order of the starting player keeps changing around. Now we're playing with the optional draft rule. So normally at the start of a generation, you draw 4 cards, and then you choose which ones you're going to buy from that at $3 each. Here we're going to do a drafting phase first. I'm not going to necessarily have these cards. I'm just choosing which ones I have the option of keeping. Martian Rail is interesting because you spend 1 power, and you get $1 for every city on Mars. Currently, there'd be 1. There's Tardigrades, which is another microbe card, and actually synergizes really nicely with what we're trying to do ultimately. Tardigrades are worth 1 victory point for every 4 microbes on this card. Probably this is going to be early enough. It'll be worth at least a couple of victory points at the end of the game, which is a good value, and it's a microbe tag, which will work out with other things. So while Adapted Lichen looks pretty good, I think I have to take Tardigrades because it'll work quite nicely. So I'm just keeping one of those and passing the other 3 to someone else. Bribe Committee is not a terrible choice here. So effectively, it's going to cost me 10, right? 7 for the card plus 3 to keep it. It's worth -2 victory points, but it gives 2 terraforming rating. Terraforming ratings are worth points, so it breaks even there. And instead what it does is it means I'm paying 10 to boost my income by 2, which is fine value. And it ensures that I have a card that can boost my terraforming rating so that I can activate the other thing. It's okay. On the other hand, we could get the research outpost, which means from now on my cards would cost 1 less. It also places a city, which is kind of nifty. And then there's just the asteroid, which can also be good. It raises the temperature by 1, which gives us terraform rating and everything. Gives me a little titanium, which I'll be able to use to pay for space cards later. And eats 3 plants from someone. From anyone. So if anyone's got like a bunch of plants, there's 2, there's 4. I could do a bit of a swing there. Again, we're just choosing what we're keeping, and there's a lot of good things for everything. It's so early that getting the discount on the research output is good, and a placement of a city. And this is sort of the same as an income. Sometimes it'll come into hand, to play maybe a couple times around, so it'll be better than 1 income. Sometimes it'll be less. Because this is an income, but also this. I think, I guess it might come down a little bit to what would I be less happy not happy. Like, all of these are actually fine. And I can make huge arguments for all of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the asteroid just because, like Bribe Committee, it gives me another way to potentially just increase the terraform rating that I can combo with my ability here. Again, we're not necessarily buying it either. Zeppelins need a fair amount of O2, although they're pretty strong. When you play them, your income goes up by 1 for every city placed. The Radchem Factory, though, it does lower your energy production by 1. It gives you 2 terraforming. I don't have any cards that would increase my my power rating, so I'll just grab the Zeppelins. I don't know if we're going to buy them, though. And then we got one last mystery card, Corporate Stronghold. Negative victory points, but it's cheap, and it places a city and gives you income, but at a cost of power, which we don't really have. Zeppelins are nice, but it's not going to be playable for a little bit, so one of the mistakes that people make a lot in this game, including me, is just buying too many goddamn cards. So I definitely want to avoid that. I know I want the tardigrades, so let's figure this out. My turn, I'm going to play tardigrades and worms, so that's 12. 15 for this. That leaves me with 15 more. I could pick up asteroids, but I can't actually play it this turn. Especially since I want to play 3 more to... Oh, hold on. I really, really, really want to make sure that I'm boosting my terraforming rating every turn, so that I can use my ability. And right now, that wouldn't happen, right? I'd pick up tardigrades, I'd play it, play the worms, and again, that brings me to 15. So what I need is, I need a 12-point play that raises my terraforming rating so that I can use my ability, and there isn't one. Let's see. I could Aquifer to drop an ocean. Unfortunately, this ocean's already gone. This is the ocean that draws 2 cards when you play there. But I might do something like the double titanium. And because at some point there'll probably be a space card I want to use. So let's assume something like that. Let's say, or I could, I suppose I, actually, hold on. I should asteroid. The reason is asteroid will raise the temperature by 1, so that improves the TR by 1, which means I can use my ability. Also, the next heat level, unlocking this gives you 1 permanent heat production, so it's quite a nice play here. So we're going to assume we're going to asteroid, and then play the 3 for the extra terraform rating, so that's 17. So that leaves me with 13. Which, I mean, I'll buy the tardigrades for 3. And I guess play them, and then that'll be the turn. I won't be able to play the worms, but that's fine. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just going to redo my math one more time because I want to figure out if I can buy asteroids. So asteroid is 14 plus 3, 17. Yes, which leaves me with 13. Buying the tardigrades costs 3, which leaves me with 10. Playing the tardigrades, which costs 4, leaves me with 6, which means I could buy asteroid and just hold on to it, and then still be able to do my whole move. Okay. In fact, I could have bought one more, but I'm kind of thinking there'll probably be better cards on the next one. So, first thing I want to do is I want to asteroid, which will raise the temperature, which is worth a TR, and give me the heat income here, which is a nice little bonus. Good. Now that I've done that, and a 4 I forget, this is going to be really important to do every single turn, because it's the reason you would pick the United Nations Mars Initiative. Done and done. Very efficient. Go up on terraform rating. Now, there are these milestones and awards I haven't talked about. If you're new to the game, you won't know about them. So they cost 8. And milestones basically is, if you've hit one of these things, if you've reached, say, level 35 terraforming rating, you can spend 8, claim terraformer, and this will be worth 5 victory points at the end of the game, which is pretty substantial. Again, victory points are worth about $5 each. So if you're getting 5 victory points for 8, that's insanely good. And so trying to hit some of these is kind of important. I think we're not really in the running for mayor. First of all, Tharsis starts with the free city, and they put down a greenery. If they put down one more thing, they can get the mayor, and that's going to be about it. Gardener for 3 greeneries. Again, we're not quite there. I don't know if we have any builder tags. Yeah, and we don't even have any in our hand. Planning is just having 16 cards or more in your hand. I think if there's anything right now, I mean, we might be in the running for maybe doing Terraformer first. We might be able to swing one of these depending on what happens on the board. However, a friend of mine, Demonac, who you guys might know from Tales from My D&D campaign, because the AI is pretty beatable if you're an experienced player, he's come up with a personal rule that he's not allowed to claim a milestone. That makes it much, much, much more challenging. And I think we may look at doing exactly that. There's also awards over here. Awards are a little bit different. So you can fund an award, but you're not claiming it instantly. Like a milestone, you're claiming it and saying, haha, this is mine. An award, you're saying, at the end of the game, the person, so landlord here, for example, with the most tiles in play, will earn 5 extra victory points, and the person in the second will earn 2. Just because I funded it doesn't mean I'm going to win it. I mean, I probably would fund things that I expect I would win, but that's about it. Like with the milestones, again, my friend Demonac says we don't fund awards. You can still compete for an award, but you can't fund it yourself. So we're going to go by those 2 extra little rules here to increase the difficulty. Because let me tell you, if you can claim, say, 2 milestones, for example, you've probably won the game. They're very, very intense. You can only fund 3 milestones and 3 awards. That's it. And the cost to fund awards goes up as you play more of them. So the first one's 8, the second one's 12, the last one's 20. I'm not sure about the 12 in the middle. Anyway, it's our turn again. So we do want to play tardigrades because we want to start accumulating tokens on that immediately. So we're going to go ahead and spend 4, do that. We got our 3 left over as expected. Viral enhancers triggers. I'm going to go ahead and put a microbe on the tardigrades, even though you do need 4 for it to do stuff, to be worth victory points, but it's going to be okay. We are going to use our nitrite-reducing bacteria. We don't have 3 tokens on this, so I can't raise my TR. So I'll just add a token to it. Done. And then we have to do our tardigrade as well to add a token, but that will be it for us. I actually don't play a lot of the token stuff. A lot of times I go with a lot of board development. I really focus a lot on building cities and things, which is, again, why I really like Tharsis, because it really works with my style. So we'll put a token on tardigrades. And I think that's us. I can't afford any of the cards in my hand. I can't afford any standard project, other than selling patents, which is trashing some of your cards for one gold each, one money each. I have no actions left over here, so I'm going to skip my second action. Then it's going to come back around to me, and then I will pass and take no actions, and that will be it for my generation. And everyone else had already skipped or done a hard pass. So there we go. So now we get our production. By the way, so these are the various resources we got. The numbers on the top in the little brown area, that's the actual production per turn that people have. And keep in mind, for money, you also add your terraforming rating. So we got the 24 for my terraforming rating, and then I guess 0 because we don't have any extra income. We were first, so we cycle down to last action, and we're going to do some drafting again. We are going to have 27 bucks this turn, so we couldn't even play the giant asteroid this round. We could still grab it for the future. I think I'm not going to worry too much. Arctic algae, you have to play it quite early. When you play it, you get a plant. Whenever someone plays an ocean tile, you gain 2 plants. Plants can be used to put down greeneries, for example. So there's 6 more oceans to play. So if I played it immediately, if no one played an ocean before me, right, and there's still 6 left, in the course of the game, this will be worth 12, 13 plants overall, which ain't bad. It's also a plant tag, which would trigger with my viral enhancers to give me +1 plants as well. So I would get 14 plants out of that. I actually don't know what the sort of cost per token is balanced around. Might be 2 to 1, might be 3 to 1. I'm not sure. So that might be a good deal. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced. Import greenhouse gases. It's fairly cheap, so it's 10 total. Gives us 1 heat production and then 3. So depending on how many rounds the game lasts, let's say we're going to generation 10. So this will be worth 10 total heat for 10 bucks. As opposed to this, which will be worth probably 14 total plants for 12 bucks. Very similar costing there. None of it is very sexy. Insulation, we choose to decrease our heat production by a number of steps and increase our money production by that much. We have 1 heat production. We could turn that into 1 ME. So it costs us 5 to buy this card. It would raise our income by 1, so it would pay for itself over the long term, but it's not very enticing, is it? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the algae. There's a good chance I'm not going to buy it, but on the off chance that we get some other plant combo stuff. Now, this ice asteroid is much more affordable. However, so if we bought this, right, we'd have 24 left. We'd have enough to pay for this, but we wouldn't have enough to use our TR boosting ability, which isn't really ideal. Media Archives gives us money whenever anyone plays an event, including ourselves. None of these are very compelling. I don't know. I'm going to grab the ice asteroid. We're actually not very far from being able to use Heather. I like it. And energy tapping is worth -1 victory points because it actually lowers someone else's energy production by 1, because we're sort of stealing it. And then we got a 4th card. None of these are really... Oh my god, Soletta's really good, but we can't afford it. I mean, we could hold on to it. I think this might be a we hold on to a couple of expensive cards regardless turn. We have to remember we do have a regular asteroid in our hand as well, which would be kind of nice. Okay, let's say we don't buy anything, right? We asteroid and worms, so that's 22. And then I spend an extra 3 to get my bonus TR, so that's 25. We have 2 gold left over. It's kind of a great turn. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if we had exactly 3 money left over instead of 2, I'd buy a card. But right now, if I buy a card, I can't do everything in my hand. I don't have to do asteroids now. I could wait a little bit if I was doing something else to raise my TR, which I'm not. I think I'm just not buying anything. We're going very poverty mode here. Oh, someone's building on Ganymede, which does count as a city, but does not count as a city on Mars. Same thing with the Phobos Space Haven, if anyone builds that. Ocean's being placed down. There you go. See, I wouldn't have gotten the full number of oceans out of that anyway, because there's only 5 more oceans to play now. All right, let's confirm we have 3 microbe tags. So, oh, I can't play the worms right now anyway. Oh, hold on, I miscalculated. I could have bought a card since I forgot. It's possible by the end of this round I'll be able to, but I'm not sure. I think I will go ahead. I'll just play asteroids. And we get to burn 3 plants from someone. You've got the most. Still worried that Tharsis is going to do the best. They've already got 2 greeneries down. You know what? I'm going to do that because you can claim Mayor, but he's 1 away from also being able to claim Gardener, which would be kind of sucky. we did raise our terraforming rating, so we can raise it a second time with this. Excellent. As expected, we're slightly ahead on terraforming, which is probably where we should be as the UN. Because again, we're going to raise our... Ideally, we're going to raise our terraforming level twice every generation. Once through an action, and then once through our bonus. Ideally. So the nitrite reducing bacteria, I don't have 3, so I can't use that, but we'll be able to use this next turn to get a free TR level up, which frees us up in terms of actions that we might want to do otherwise. So there we go, there's its third. I'll use another action to boost the tardigrades, so we can eventually get some victory points. And that's it for us. We have 10 left. Yep, we're done. No more actions, no more anything. Fini. Yeah, I could have bought an extra card to carry over this turn, because some of those were nice. We might get another one here, though. And don't overbuy cards. So we do have 36 bucks now, because we did save 10, which is kind of nice. And our TR went up, so our income went up a little bit. Order is changing slightly. Do we have any science tags yet? We have 1. Science cards are very powerful. Interesting. So we did need the 4% oxygen for this. We need a few, but it's another bacteria card, which, I mean, sort of we combo on. Let's just raise the temperature. I think it's early enough to make this worthwhile. On the other hand, wave power is a very efficient way to get 1 power generation. Like, it only costs 8 to get a power generation and a victory point. So I get with this card, so again, the victory point is sort of costed at 5. We're paying another 3 for the power, or sort of 6 for keeping the card for the power here. It's got some requirements. Anyway, it's fairly good, because normally increasing our power for a standard project, for example, will cost us 11. Here it's effectively going to cost us 6, because the victory point is free. Although the victory point is, paying for a victory point early kind of hurts, because you're still trying to develop your economy. Tectonic stress power would be, like, you can compare it directly over here. You're paying an extra 10 for 2 extra power. But we don't have the science tag. I can't grab both of these. Do I even want the greenhouse gas producing bacteria? I mean, we don't actually really have bacteria combo going on in any way. Although, if I pick this up, I suppose our worms, if we end up playing it late, we might actually get 3 plants out of it. But we still need the oxygen level to be up. You know what? I'm just going to grab the wave power, because unlocking one level of power is quite nice for a lot of the city placement cards. I'm going to do that. We're not that close. Ecological zone, I have to have 1 greenery down, which we don't have. Extreme cold fungus would actually be kind of nice, because it lets you put microbes on other cards, actually. Yeah, we definitely want that. We can play it now. Rover construction. This is whenever a city is placed, we get $2. It's also worth a victory point. A little mine for little production is kind of nice early on. Again, we'd be playing 7. Then we can use this to make some cards cheaper. I'm going to consider it, actually. I might have wanted to just take the rover construction just to block someone else from getting it. I'm not sure. We need the extreme cold fungus. Artificial lake. It's a little far before we can get there. And for all we know, that there's going to be no more lake tiles at that point. I know I'm grabbing that. Let's see. What's my funding? I know I would like to play worms this turn. I don't think I'm going to wait for another bacteria. If we did, our worms would be with 3 plants per turn, but we'd be delaying it. We don't even know if we can get bacteria next turn, so we'll just play it for the 2. So that's 8 over there, which brings us down to 28. We are going to get the TR up from a card, if nothing else, and then spend 3, so that leaves us with 25. We take this, that leaves us with 22. We take this, it leaves us with 18. I can't play both, but I think that's okay, and I can still play the extreme cold fungus this turn. I think that is the way we want to go. Actually, I could also buy the mine. Hopefully my math there is okay. We'll find out. He's greenerizing. I don't like that I'm not developing my board. Again, that's usually how I like to play, especially versus the AI. The AI is not usually very good at developing the board, although I think they've tweaked the AI a fair bit since the last time I played, which was admittedly fairly early on in the process. Let's drop this in, just in case the temperature changed suddenly and I wouldn't be able to use it. I mean, it's not very likely. But let's say, now, if I use this, you have card resources. You've got 3 on you. Yep. So if we use this, we can boost our terraforming rating. So let's do that before I make any other mistakes. So we'll spend those 3 tokens. And then the other thing before I make any mistakes on my next turn is I'm going to boost my terraforming rating via my corporation ability. There we go. Hellion did take the rover construction card that I passed on. Greenhouse gas bacteria. Maybe I should have grabbed it, maybe not. I mean, it turns out that actually would have worked, but I didn't know I was going to get the other bacteria card afterwards. And the heat generation and everything, but that's okay. Alright, so yeah, before I screw up, I definitely want to spend 3 to boost my terraforming rating. Yeah, let's drop this down now that I can. Get some plant production going on. That's going to be okay. This will trigger my viruses. No? Gain a plant. Oh, it may have just given me a plant because it's not a token card. I didn't actually check. So, because yeah, whenever I play something with that symbol, I get to add a microbe token to it or gain a plant. But that wasn't a card that accumulates tokens, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I've got nothing else I can do from my hand. I still have my actions, so I'm going to place 1 on tardigrades. There you go. Now I've got 1 victory point that I'm going to have at the end of the game from all this. And then I'm going to use this card to place 2 microbes on our nitrate-reducing bacteria. Because if I do this, then like every other turn, I can use this to boost the TR. I think that's probably our better play than the tardigrades. Because effectively, with this card, every 3 microbes gives me a victory point. Tardigrades, it's every 4 microbes gives me a victory point. But in addition to being worth a victory point, this is terraforming rating, which means it also boosts my income. So now it's 3, so it's 4 for a victory point, or 3 for an income and a victory point. And boosting my terraformer level is extra important for me because of my my faction. So yeah, that's definitely where to put that. If we did have the greenhouse gas producing bacteria, it might have been more tempting to put it there because we could raise the temperature literally every single turn, which would end the game pretty quick and give us a better way to boost our TR. I don't know. All right, so we're going to be in second position. Terraform rating's going up nicely. We're going to have 31 over here. Both of these produce stuff, so we really want to play this as early as possible. So let's assume we've got 12 already spent. So that leaves us with 23. If I buy a card, that leaves me with 20. So that's sort of where we're sitting. Adaptive technology, the plus-minus stuff might turn out useful. It just lets you like ignore some of the requirements over here. It's mostly worth the victory point. I don't know. The cartel, the mining area is cheap for some production. Asteroid mining, we could discount this a little because it's a space card and we do have some titanium. I think what I'll do is I'll grab the mining area, because it also means I can plop something down on the table. Here's the thing. If Tharsis raises the temperature, we won't be able to play Archaeobacteria. So same thing here. We're not really... I don't suspect we're doing the physical complex. I don't think we're going to buy any of these. What I think I'll do is I'll just take the physical complex to block someone else from grabbing it, in case someone else can do it. Sponsors, obviously, the sooner you play this, the better for the income. We're about halfway through the game. That might still be worthwhile. I might do this just to block people from getting science tags. And then what's the extra we got? Deep well heating. Actually, I'm going to go for that. I think I'll only buy this. So that'll leave me, assuming my calculations are correct, we'll have 7 left over at the end. Which means I could buy and play the mining area too. Which I'm okay with. I might have screwed up the math. Alright, there you go. They took sponsors. Oh, he's got a card. It's cost him 3 less to play events. So it became much, much stronger pick for him. We didn't have that kind of synergy. Alright, we got actions. We got cards. Oh, it has to be placed adjacent to one of my tiles, so I can't place the mining area at all right now. a second. Let me use this to put microbes on my nitrate-reducing bacteria. Because then I can use this to terraforming rating. And again, just make sure I don't screw that up because, you know, those are important value for us to get. Got to maximize the value from the things that are really efficient for us. That's another really good play. So you get victory points at the end. For every greenery you place on Mars, you get a victory point at the end. Your cities aren't worth victory points by themselves, but for every greenery they're adjacent to, even if you don't own them, they're worth a victory point. So this is Hellion over here. They placed a city next to 2 greeneries that belong to Tharsis Republic, but this city is going to be worth 2 victory points because of that. More if they build more greeneries. Okay. Yeah, we're going to make sure we don't accidentally forget to use that. And you know what? I'll do the card grades now. Done and done. And then we'll figure out how to spend our 22 money. We're up to 30. No one's actually claimed a milestone yet. Oh, I'm not allowed to. I'm like, oh, I could maybe grab terraformer. Except, nope. I'm not going to allow myself to do that. Deep well heating can give us a terraforming next turn. I can do this plus wave power. Or I could hold on to it because it's a fairly good way to get a terraforming rating. Because am I going to be able to get it next turn? Yes, I can, because I can put 2 more in the nitrite-reducing bacteria, and then I'll get a terraforming. So, okay, let's do this. So, more production, more terraforming rating, more income, which is nice. And which one of these actually would I maybe prioritize? I actually think, since I already have 1 power generation, which means I'll be able to play a city card, I'm going to play the mine first. Because the steel can be used to pay for building type cards in a way that the power doesn't matter as much. I mean, it can turn it into heat, but I think that's probably better to improve the economy first. And yeah, if we can place down a tile somewhere so we can actually start doing mining area, that would be nice. Now, it has to be a tile you own, and you don't own oceans, I believe, so I can't just place an ocean and then do the mining area next to it. I have to place a city or a greenery. We're going to be first to act this turn, although I don't think that's going to matter. Underground city, oh, it's 2 power, which we could get. If I wave power, I could wave power and then play underground city. I mean, I do have some synergy with plant tokens. This would cost me 1 plant, but gives me plant production. And when I play this, because of my viruses, I would get a free plant right away. And there might be stuff that'll combo with this. Mohole area might be worthwhile, actually. Because it'll let me place a tile, which will count as being owned, which means I can do a mine after that. And I place this on a tile reserved for an ocean. Actually, you know what? I think that's the play. I'll hold on to this anyway. Oh, Earth Catapult is really good. You want it as early as possible. I'm not sure this counts as early as possible, but technically it's still playable with the auction level. Lets you fling a plant or steel into space to get money. It does cost you power. There's also predators over here. It eats other animals and then gets victory points. I don't know. You have no cards with resources. You've got the bacteria. Yeah, I mean, you can even eat your animals, but no one right now has an animal generating card. This costs a ton of power, which we don't really have. I think I'll just pick up the electro cannon. I don't know if we'll buy it. Protected Valley is good. Let's just put a greenery. This is another way to get a token on the board, maybe in a better way, and some money. Nitrophilic Moss actually is really nice. These are both really strong. Okay, Protected Valley. If we buy you, so that's costing 26, it leaves us 10. I can buy you and still put down the mining area. Because that'll leave me with 6 more. Which means I could buy 2 more cards. Okay, I think I will select you. So again, 26, 30, leaves me with 6 more. I can't wave power. Oh, that's not true, because I can actually discount the protected value by 2 because of the steel, which leaves me with 8 more, which means I can also wave power. If I buy exactly protected value. Giant Space Meter's pretty good, though, and I can get discounts on that, too. Hold on, I think I'll buy both these. Yeah, I gotta stay. None of the other two, there's some good stuff, but I'm not married to them. Is there anything I need to worry about in terms of order? Potentially just something that lets me place a token. So the mining area, what happens is you place it on something that's got either steel or titanium tile on the board, and then you get that as an extra production. So, I mean, ideally it might be titanium. Question is where we put the protected valley. Oh, wait, it has to be in an area reserved for an ocean. Right, okay, hold on. So it's these light blue tiles here. So I think what we kind of have to do for the other thing to work is I have to put it here so that I can put the mining area there. Yeah. All right, protected valley. So we'll discount it slightly. We'll put it here, which does give us 2 steel back from that tile, which is kind of nice. And then the mining place, I can build it for free. Use this. Place it here, which will give me the 2 steel, and then steel production as well. Okay. I actually have enough plants to put down a greenery, too. I might just want to hold on to it, though, because if I just place down a second greenery, that's going to make it a good spot for someone to put a city. I think I may want to save my plants until I can place my own city down. Ooh, someone has played small animals. If someone had gone predators... I mean, someone might have bought predators. I don't know. Some moss. Mm-hmm. And back to me. All right, well, before we get any further... Did I raise the terraforming level? Oh, yeah, when I place the greenery down. Yeah, this one here. Excellent. So... we know we need to do this. That is not optional. It's just too important. Am I putting down another? Yeah, so, I mean, I can't afford those. We've got the greeneries, so that's okay. So let me use this to place more bacteria on our bacteria. Yo, Doug. I think there's going to be a fair amount of passing here. We have a lot of action, so our turns, we get more stuff going on. Oh, yeah, he just put some small animals down. Oh, and he's doing another action. Oh, an asteroid to raise the temp. Get that terraforming. Okay. Huh? There we go. This just wasn't ready to go yet. Now we can do this. Get more terraforming. Excellent. And then tardigrades, which will end our turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut in here. I actually meant to do a little sooner. Second video in this might be a little bit short, but we'll see. But we're a little past halfway through the game. We're about to start Gen 7. The later generations sometimes take longer because people have more resources, so they can do... here's the thing. If I put down the greenery now, it means I will get the terraforming rating right away, which means I get 1 extra income next turn. The problem is, I'm really worried that someone will ninja a city spot if I do that. I think I have to sit on it. But what I'll do is cut the video here. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.